first things first, Subaru is alive. We all knew he was going to be alive. This, like, playthrough kind of thing that is going on now, just based on the fact that he got those lap pillows from the previous episode, we know he's going to survive. He's obviously going to live all through until he gets his next checkpoint, so don't need to worry about anything. So in this episode we find that Subaru is alive. The blue-haired girl managed to like recover him, bring him back, but unfortunately for him, he's told that one of the creatures that bit him placed another curse on him, and because he's had so many curses placed on him, basically described as like a tangled kind of thing. Like before, it was pretty easy to get the curse out, but now it's all tangled mess, it's too difficult to get it out. So the only way he can solve this problem is by killing the person that cursed him, which was probably one of the dogs, so he's going to go and kill one of them. Now, something interesting you can take away from this show is the fact that the character development that they do for this character, Subaru, is really good, because you get to see kind of like, he doesn't really care too much about dying. You see by Biyoko, she's saying that I thought you'd be a bit more worried about the fact that you're going to die. He cares more about the fact that Rem has gone to try and kill all these beasts to try and save him. So it just shows he was never a selfish character to begin with, but like, he's a good lad. The other thing I like about this show as well is the subtlety that it does with the animations to basically portray like feelings and things like that, because what people say, specifically what Subaru says, is not specifically what he really means. When he says that, oh, I'll go into the forest and I'll help you try and like kill all these beasts and stuff, I'll be as good as help as I can be. He says it with confidence, but when you see him, his hands are trembling or his face shows some kind of like small emotions. So the creator of this anime, I think, does a really good job with like portraying fear and things like that. It's really good. One thing that bothered me in this episode is the fact that we previously established that if he tries to talk about the fact that he's been going through time traveling kind of thing, bad shit happens where like I assume it's the witch, the jealous witch, she sort of like grasps his heart and it like really hurts him. And I assumed if he did that too many times it'd actually kill him. So when he's like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll go to talk about this so all the creatures come and attack me. And I was like, alright, you've done it once, don't do it again. And then he does it like twice in the same episode. I was like, you are pushing your luck, mate. There's a line I like that Biyoko says where she says to Subaru, what do you think you know of me? And he says, well, I feel like I know you 4 times longer than I actually have, which to her didn't make any sense, but it was quite funny, it made me laugh. Before he goes into the forest with Ram to try and find Rem, to try and help her kill these beasts and or just try and save her in general, he goes to visit the village and we find out that all the kids are still okay and fine. And one of the villagers wants to thank him, so he gives him a sword, and I was like, oh, awesome, he's got this sword, it's going to be like one of the things he's gained from these experiences, and he's going to like accumulate like different things throughout the series, and then this is all like the hard work he's been doing. The sword breaks the same episode he gets it, which was apparently the sharpest sword in the village. Bullshit. I'm upset. I hope he gets to keep that sword afterwards and fixes it up or something like that, because I kind of saw this anime going in this kind of format where eventually he's going to meet a swordsman and he's going to say, do you want to do like a sparring match together? And he's like, yeah, okay then. And he gets his absolute ass handed to him. And then, like, he resets back for whatever reason, and he just, oh, do you want to spar with me? And he's like, alright, I'll spar with you this time. He does a little bit better, and eventually he becomes, like, a great swordsman, or the fact that maybe he uses magic and becomes good with his dark magic kind of thing. So that's kind of where I hope the series goes in at some point. Maybe not now, but hopefully later. Now, we get to learn a little bit more about the lore of this world as well in this episode. We learn about the horn that Rem had. To the gist of it is, they are demons. Demons normally have 2 horns, like you normally see. When a demon is born as a pair of twins kind of thing, their horns split, so each one gets 1 each. Normally in their culture, they would just kill them both because I imagine they're seen as weak or something like that. But for some reason, they were allowed to live. And we see a very brief like flashback kind of thing where Rem cuts off Ram's horn. So this is why she says in the episode that she's hornless. And we don't really learn too much more about it, but if we go to the story that Subaru was telling before about the 2 ogres, the one that wanted to go down to the village and be friends with everyone, and the other one sacrificed itself kind of thing to try and like let the other one have friends, I kind of see that as a parallel to this, which was quite obvious. I imagine Rem cut off Ram's horn so that she could be seen as a normal person and the humans of the world would not fear her, so that she could have like a normal life. So I kind of assume that's why. I also think it's the reason why she's not as good as her sister at doing like the cleaning and fighting and things like that because she's had her horn removed. Now, the power of the horn, while it does make you, as they say, like consume mana and things like this to make you really strong, it leaves you in kind of like a insanity kind of mode where you don't recognize very many people. However, the way Subaru gets over this is he's told that if he can push the horn or just cut the horn or something like this, he'll be able to knock her back out of a trance. So he says to Ram, he's like, Ram, do you trust me? She's like, no. Okay, but will you promise not to get mad if I do something? So he throws Ram at Rem to try and distract her, and in the end it works, and it ends with like this sort of like slicing motion, and we don't actually get to see what happens next, but I imagine good things. But yeah, that was pretty much the episode. We got to see Ram being a badass. She's not as powerful as her sister, obviously. She doesn't really have the stamina, but her air moves when she's cutting the dogs in half were pretty epic, to be honest with you. As well, her clairvoyance ability, that was awesome. Wouldn't mind learning that myself. So yeah, I'd like to know what you guys thought in the comment section below. What did you think of the episode? Tell me below. I've heard that this arc is ending soon, and then like a new arc starts in like 2 or 3 episodes, so that'll be cool to see. And the reason this episode was so late for me to put out was because of a tennis match or something like that in Japan, so they were like playing that before the episode or something, so I had to wait till late, and it was late at night, so I didn't want to make this review then, so I'm making it today. It is like 1,000,000 degrees Celsius outside. It's very hot, so I'm going to go outside into the sun. I'd like to hear your guys about the episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you later. Right then guys, so recently I subscribed to Loot Crate. Specifically I subscribed to Loot Anime. They specialise in sending Loot Anime related stuff, and I thought that I'd do an unboxing for you guys and show you the kind of stuff I got. Unfortunately I'm in the future, so I've already opened it all, so I know what I get. This is what the box looks like after you've turned it inside out. It's kind of like a treasure chest, which we're going to see a treasure chest worth of stuff inside. Also, I'm wearing, spoiler, a t-shirt. You'll see more of that later. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Here we go. Right then, here we go. Welcome to the unboxing. First things first, let's get through this protective layer, which